Hi, how are you? My name is Magdalena, and today it will be presentation about Turkey, my experiences, and also my message, what I have through my recordings. And it starts from the affirmation: "What belongs to me, it always finds its way." Why I'm saying that? Because our minds don't understand the soul journey. What does it mean? When I was 18, 19, I wanted to travel. I wanted to see the world. And I wanted also to become a stewardess. But because I didn't pass the English exam at that time, so I gave up and started thinking, by my mind, how can I escape from the place where I was, and I moved at the time to Spain, and my child was born there, and my life was finished for that moment. And I started to reconnect it with myself, with my soul at the age of 37. Right now, my body is 52 years old, and that's why I am. It doesn't matter how old are you. What belongs to your soul, when you start doing some maneuvers, start to trusting life, you will receive what belongs to you, not what to others people. When we stop comparing with others, what they have, what they don't have, we find our imprint to our lives and also to the global consciousness. And this is about Turkey and my experiences. So when you start using the affirmation, what I started my presentation, what belongs to me, it always finds its way. It means what is yours, not what your mind wants, only what belongs to your soul. This is different way of approach. So I had this privilege of working in Turkey, and I was over for over 7 months. So I was in Antalya all the time because work my was at the airport. So also accommodation was in Antalya, but I was in Side, Alanya, Phaselis, Marmaris, Cappadocia, Istanbul, Pamukkale, Manavgat, and Green Canyon. And so there are a lot of places, and so that I saw and could experience by myself. Marmaris. Marmaris, we had the training, so it was my first travel from Antalya to the new place, and it was I was astonished with this small town, tourist town. See, a lot of people are even it was the beginning of April, but there were a lot of tourists, and when we had free time, I met a few people there, so we started to be to learn about the place. And some people, they love to spend time in the bars, in the pubs. So after training they went in this beautiful town to enjoying with colleagues. I prefer spending time differently, and mostly I'm choosing myself instead of being in the environment that is not, let's call, good for me. It means that they have the lower the values than I have. What I mean about values, it's about, when you disrespect your body, when you disrespect yourself, when you disrespect others. This is how, you run your life. And you have this life, in front of you, because you see what does work, what doesn't work, and you don't know why. So it starts with you, always from your way in and inner work. And there was here, when we after training, uh, s- uh, so when we were on the other train, when we finished training, it was for airport people. There were 3 days. and this is the view when we came back to Antalya. So it is very beautiful to uh, Turkey is very beautiful place. And when you have possibility to travel by yourself, to rent the car, because I met later a lot of people who does that. So I encourage you to do your tour, in Turkey, only to see how beautiful this country is. And like I mentioned about, like we are, we we want to have, connection with other people, and but sometimes uh, it is not what we expect from connection, what we understand about connection. And because of that, like I had a lot of learning process, because when I was in Los Angeles, when I was in the uh, transformation about my life and about myself, reading the book, really everyone was equal, like everyone's needs was met, communication was clear. And when I started, working between different destinations, it was I started seeing people how they are hurt, how they really hurt themselves, because also when I was uh, in the place when I didn't understand what life is about. I didn't know how I was hurting myself only by holding myself to toxic environment, toxic people, and toxic dialogue about myself. And also with this affirmation, when I started, like I said, my body is 50, I am a present on this planet Earth in this incarnation 15 years. So as a 18, 19 years old, I couldn't, find I couldn't find the way about travel, about being free, happy, because I involved myself in very toxic relationship. So because of that, our values were different, and I couldn't, achieve anything, only gave up on myself, and playing the role of good mother, or what I was taught what life is, and what a woman supposed to do, and got married and have child. And this is like, spirit gives me back. It's like, because I was um I said, okay, guide me. I will be listen to my intuition. I trust, and because of that, right now, my life is starting to from the scratch, from the beginning, being rebuilt step by step, and this is the process. And that's why I'm speaking about that, because this is also your process. When you understand that you are soul, you are not human being in the a certain age, in a certain body, woman or man. You are spirit. It means that you are immortal. And when some circumstances from your past life, it is even this incarnation or previous incarnation, that have things happen, and God, our creator, our source, from where we are coming from, is so merciful, is so wonderful, that always what belong to us, we just receive it in the in the different age or different lifetime. And I experienced both. So that's why I'm putting here about tourism, but also about spirituality, because really my journey started from Mayan calendar. And also I will tell you about a little about that, because it was connected to my travel in Turkey, which was astounded how, how my soul and my guides guided me to the places where I supposed to be. And I wish you the same. So this is Antalya, the place, the images are, there's play, there's beach, Erdalindu, Plagi. So Turkish for me is very difficult. But I had a friend there, and I said if I would remember two words from all my stay there, I will be happy. And she explained me even what those words mean. And so I will share with you later. So about there were plenty of beaches, and I had this behind me on when you see on this Antalya. There is the Konyaaltı beach. There are a lot of local people come and also tourists. There are beautiful beaches. Here there is the hotel. There are plenty of hotels in Antalya, and where we stayed, this hotel was close to the apartment building where we stayed. And this is like I started, to learning by myself first. At the first, when we came back um, from Marmaris, I had through colleagues, so we started to see the place. But later I decided, okay, I need to disconnect from these people, and I started reconnected with my soul and with what was important from me from very beginning. And here behind there is Kalichi, when you see the ships, there's Kalichi, and what I experienced had. So all the time I needed to be on my truth. So like I knew that intuition is my compass. And for example, I remember when I was in Kalichi, it was first the time when I believe there were five or four or five of us. So we just went to Kalichi, old town in Antalya, and there were ice cream. I wanted ice cream, but there was something that that the price I didn't like it. It was and the price of it's not about my ego that I didn't know, but it was some kind of hiding from from tourists. The person like he told me that for the one scoop it was 50 Turkish lira, but for me at that time it was like because he took out the menu and he showed me later, but I felt in my body because our bodies is the compass. There was something not integral, and I said, no, I'm not going to buy this ice cream. And my colleagues who travel more, who work in the tourist in tourist industry, they said, but this is the tourist place. But I didn't. It doesn't matter that we are in the tourist place and the people and because of when there are a lot of tourists come, they earn money. It's about integrity and it's about truth. It's about really being like knowing what is the because the tourists come and have higher income. It doesn't matter that I supposed to take advantage of a person. So that's why my intuition guided me, no, this is not the way like it's supposed to be. And because of that I had better experiences also about ice creams. I bought for less, and they was delicious for Turkish local. When you go to store, and they have also these places and different restaurants. So they have the ice cream very cheaper and very delicious. And also I connected with the local people. It was what I wanted. So I encourage you all the time when you go, even for 7 days, for 5 days, go to the locals. Don't only stay in the one place and think that this is the tourist place, so you're supposed to overpay something. It's more with your heart, not with your head, what should be. And so all this Kalichi and the street, what you saw, it was about the very common place where people go tourists there, and this is connected to Kalichi, the old town. And it was a wonderful experience because our company also they wanted us to be photo models. So there were different places, and the photographer, you can see this parrot on the head, it was photographer, he was freelancer, so he took images from with different people, in different cities. I was in Antalya, and there were three of us, and we had a lot of fun. I remember, like, we were in Kalichi, and there was, the movie was making, through a Turkish movie, and I saw the drone. So first time I saw how it is possible that someone is on the motorcycle, and and the drone is above, and the movie is taken. It's being shot. This is the correct word, being shot. But there was, also we had this experience in Kalichi when we had the experience of us, to be photographed. We had also experienced the real movie to be shot in Kalichi. And there are places, this restaurant, so a lot of there was a guide with us. So when the guest, for example, from our company comes, so they were taken to this restaurant, Villa Galeto. Very nice people. A lot, I met some few people. They are very mm, ve- very human, or let's call it very human, and very and I experienced from one person mostly. I believe his name, he was, he was so generous with his time. Even, he gave me some work when I didn't know where to go. It was very nice, nice experience, and it was really unconditional, from the heart. That's why I love to come back there when I had time. This is like entrance to Kalichi. This is the center of Antalya. Let's call like the center. Like you saw the streets, and there is this the whole along the street. When you walk down, you will see this gate, and this is from and there is the entrance to Roman gate, and there is the entrance to the Kalichi, to the old town. And you can see how it looks like. And here is a lot of also in Kalichi there's sold a lot of pottery. I bought at the end when I was finishing stay in Antalya and work. I bought for my mother one cup because she loved, Turkish. So I bought for her in this store, and the owner, she was generous, so I could pay, the money what I had, not with what the price was, and I really appreciate that. And this is like, umbrellas. I saw the same umbrellas in Istanbul later, so this is like I can see that common uh, way of decorating markets. Here is this center. So how you can, move in Antalya? You can pay when you move by the public transportation. You have a card and credit card, and you can tap, in the bus, and it's okay. But the price is a little, higher when you buy the Antalya card. And the Antalya card, it was called Antalya Card Center, and it was in this place, and you have to have money, Turkish lira. They don't have, you cannot pay by card. So you need to have your buy for last year, because I was in 2025. So in 2025, to buy Antalya card cost 50 Turkish lira, and you could top up when were tram, where public transportation at the tram mostly, and also in the big city hall centers. They were machines that you can top up this Antalya card. And as I said, it was a little little cheaper when you are like when I was longer, so it was for me more convenient. And I would like that experience, like local people live, and that's why I love to do this way, just live this way. And also in this place, I find there was Philharmonic there, so the when it was summertime, so Philharmonic and all the theater were closed. Uh, but for people, local people in this place, they also have concerts, they have beautiful experiences. And I found a one boutique, one store, grocery store from local farmers. So I was, I every time when I wanted to buy something what was local, I came here. And it was easy to get because there was tram, and tram from airport, it was very very nice to get, because where the place where we stayed, it was a little farther from the center, and only bus could take us to the center, and it was longer journey than by tram. And I was in the tram, and there was the still I am in this area where in the center. And here I am in Kalichi, and my colleague with her husband came. So I spent time with them. It was very nice to, when you are, in my experience, when for many, many years, I was by myself. And when I came back to Poland, I met one person that we, some kind, became, was a friendship. And she was, when I was in Antalya, so she decided that she would come with her husband. They had a wonderful time, and we also rented the car. And I was really appreciated because as I drive a car, but as I mentioned before in my recordings, my driving is like from time to time, because when I get time, but when I have a car, I drive, but it is not on all the time. And I am the beginner. I call myself this way. So because of that her husband was a very good driver, so we went to Alanya. Before we went to Alanya, we were on the ship in Antalya, and the ships come from the port, from harbor in Kalichi. So we are still in Antalya, and there are different two ways of and prices for the to be in Antalya on the ship. So there's shorter way, and it's cheaper. I don't remember. I believe it was about 50 or Turkish lira, and I believe we paid cheaper because it was at the end of the day, so they wanted uh, have more tourists, so they lower the price. So I believe I paid 50 or 60, 500 or 1600 Turkish lira, but there was also for 1200, where the excursion was longer, about 2 hours. And so it depends on you what you prefer. And also I find like place for myself. We are still with my friend, with my colleague and her husband in Kalichi. They even had the hotel in this area, in the old town. So I was visiting them this time, and we had a wonderful time. I believe this what you see, this beach, plaji, like in Turkish. So it was 1000, and it was entrance from where you see my person. There was the entrance that you can experience beach, but it was paid for 1000 Turkish lira for this, so it was private. So my assignment was another to find something what is I don't have to pay. And I find, like when we are connected with our guidance, so I find later Fener Beach, and there are a lot of local people going there. And I love, because that beach was on the cliffs, and it was safe, and it was I could meet, local people, and water was astonished. And also I saw turtle there. And here we in Alanya. So like with my colleague and her husband, I rented the car, and I was driving as a man, who rented. But law is the law, and when you trust yourself, that better is that someone else take the will from you, because it is like we are protected, that we are, when we trust life, that life knows that we will be safe. Even law speaks about something else, but if we are connected with our truth and our safety even, so then life always give us experiences where we are safe and we don't have to pay any penalties. And at the beginning of the stay, in Turkey and Antalya, I was learning about, like it was also the differences between prices for tourists and for local people. For example, like local people, like you see in Alanya, we were in the place where was museum, it's castle, and there was museum, and the prices were for people who are tourists. They don't have this local, they are not citizens. So as a citizen, you can have a card. It's called in 2025. It cost 100 Turkish lira, and you have entrance where everywhere in Turkey for free then. But for tourists, it was different. So the tourists not couldn't have this card, but also the prices were very higher than that, according to me, that it was like supposed to be. First, the price is supposed to be in Turkish lira, because Turkish is not in Europe, in euro. So but the prices for the tourist was in euro. I understand that it was for um, European tourists who earn in Germany or other countries where is euro, it is easier for them to recognize, but the prices were all too much. And I decided, okay, I am not going to that kind of I'm not going to have experiences. I am connected with my values. And can you imagine, like my colleague, she wanted, she had money, uh, but it's not about having money and go somewhere. It's about, in my space, it's about values. And when you have your own values, life shows you that also that other people have uh, don't have this attitude that they want to use tourists and pay money only to take advantage, but they really want to give value to the tourist. And I am looking about value, not about price, about value. And that's why we had wonderful trip in Alanya for very cheap, because it's not about, it was very cheap because it was for the tour, it was equal for the tourist and the local person, the same price. So that's why I'm calling this cheap. And it was really not expensive. It was the price, I believe it was about 300 Turkish lira or even less. We paid for free, no, 180 Turkish lira for free places where we really enjoy being there. It was like here museum where it was a red tower, and where you can see beautiful view. Also, where behind me there is the shipyard. So we were there. So it was like this. We bought in this museum in tower, the red tower. It was near at the harbor. We bought for, I believe, 180 Turkish lira, for free places. So we were in this red tower inside. Later, we were in this, like you see behind, there's also beaches where local people were swimming in there. But there is the passage that we could go um, to this shipyard. And also we were with and this is the shipyard. Like you see, there's the view, the window to the sea. And and this is my friend with her husband. And and really we and like you can see this crowd, they were looking, the crowd was looking at them, and I knew that one of their ancestors were with them. But really, our ancestors take care about us, and they love us, and they want us to, whatever is on our hearts, they admire us, but we break chains what we didn't, what our family lineage didn't do before. So, and it is about living in your heart space, the most important, with your love and heart space. And here is we still, the beautiful. We had a beautiful sightseeing. And here is another attraction, Damlatas, czyli we were the stalactite cave. So we were enjoying really good time for good price, not overpaying. And this satellite, uh, it is very difficult for me. Stalactite cave. So there is close to Cleopatra beach. My colleague, she wanted to swim, but at the end she didn't accomplish her dream. But because it was too late, we had some good food, and but why this I heard that this Cleopatra beach is very liked by tourists because there is sound. The truth is in Antalya, for example, where I was swimming, like Konyaaltı or Ferne, so or other also beaches, there were like the uh, made as a beach. It was from wooden. So beaches in Antalya were from, like for example, in this Konyaaltı, there are pebbles. So Cleopatra in Alanya, Cleopatra beach is from the sand, and that's why and at the hotels. At the hotels, there are also, sandy beaches in Antalya. Even I experienced, but there was one Sherwood exclusive, I believe it was the hotel where there was between the local people could swim, and also the guests from the hotel, but it was divided. So there are also the sandy beaches, but where I enjoyed the most time, it was the cliffs, and I could dive, jump into water. But for me it was the most important, because when we have beach, we can walk, but I would like to experience this diving into sea, just enjoying and swimming uh, with local people, just integrate with that. And I met this wonderful person there. So we are still in Alanya. There are wagons where people, you can get to the top of this mountain by car. So my colleague, husband, he drove on the till the top, and also there are these wagons that they can take you to the top of the mountain, and you can there are also what is that, the castle, so you can see many the castle. What I told you, that the price for me, it was not right. It was, that's why, because we're supposed to have equal prices in the local, local currency, uh, and not being, some kind taking advantage about that. And I'm speaking about that because this is very common, be using, why I'm emphasize that, because when you take advantage on others, you will be taken advantage. So whatever you are doing, to on the other person, it's also you will experience. That's why, we see a lot of poor people. That's why we see a lot of uh, like this communication and borders, because people don't know they are connected with themselves. Whatever they do to one person, they also do to themselves. Mind doesn't know, but heart knows, and that's why it's very be connected to the heart chakra and coherence. Our mind with the heart, it brings healthy experiences to our lives. And this is still Antalya. There was a sign, I love Antalya, so that's why really it was behind me. This is the Fener beach, and I was astounded with vegetation, like you see, very abundant, beautiful plants, and it was close to city. Terra City. It was the known place in the center gallery, mall, excuse me, mall. So a lot of local people and spend time there. And that's why I had this, on Fener Beach, you don't have anything that you can have shower or, change your clothes. Only you change, like the locals, so what I was doing, for example, when I needed to use bathroom, so I go to when I finished swimming, I went to this mall, Terra City, use bathroom, change my clothes. Sometimes when I go before shift, I was swimming, so I change my clothes and go to the work to just to serve the guests. And here is this I love this, really. I love this environment. There was so much safe, and we all were enjoying it. I met another. She is from Slovenia, uh, but she lives and she got married in Turkey for the Turkish person, and because of that, even we connected, because we had like very because I heard that a lot of Turkish women get married to Turkish people, and they are unhappy. When I met one person, and she one time, and really, and I felt, and I was like a little ironic, and and uh, and she shared that really that they are working on right now on the marriage, but also I acknowledge that I was ironic, that I said that, and because of that, it was very, like our truth, what was from our minds, we connected on the soul level, and we still are in the communication. We when we had time, we met, our schedules were different. She was working, but when we had possibility to meet, so it was, this Fener beach. And my colleague who lives in Antalya for ages, he said that he didn't know that this beach exists, so I was innovator for him. And this is the Antalya's airport. There were a lot. It was a huge one. It was Terminal 2, so there are a lot of people, come and go, and from different environment. It was wonderful experience, really. And behind me, even recalling, there was this Terrace City, this mall, and I was knowing also. I can see when you see me here, with this crystal. The crystal was mountain crystal, which I bought before I came to Antalya. It was my soul, just grabbed this and just guided me. And I feel when I'm doing as a human, like, like we take something with hand, and when my soul does it, and I feel, this energy, that I know that this is from my soul. And really, this crystal, mountain crystal, helped me a lot from negativity, because when we work with with people when we I experienced from my co-workers, but it was my lesson. But like also, the other people comes, bring you all the energy, and the energy is mixed. So this crystal was just purifying my energy, but my soul, my energy field was healthy, and I was able to serve, to enjoy, being in the space with other people and doing my work the best I could. And there was the visit, or like even what I told you, what belongs to me, it finds its way. So because I was growing up by a belief system which was from very a small town, and also I had a lot of connection. I really energetic connection with my mother. This is my mother, me and my mother in Antalya. So when I cleansed everything in United States from all belief system, all the connotation uh, with my beliefs about being loyal to my family, I could breathe. I wrote the book. That's why it's very important, this book, for you also to read. That we are not to how is it called, copy our behaviors of our parents, or be also be attached to our family. We came here from to be attached to our, really, our essence, this God. We come from mother womb. We just we coming to our lives. Our parents take care of us, or but some parents, they cannot, so also there are financial issue, but we are child of God. And when we come to this realization, then we are not attached to the people, and also to the people who hurt us. We know that we need to forgive and even give them chance. And sometimes when it is time to let go. And for example, like my mother, I really had this experience with her, like on and off, coming together, and it was like very on the very because she, like every mother, goes with heart, not with the mind. So that's why I just, even many times I was learning through her how I supposed to communicate with my son. That she was teaching me, uh, and also my son was taught me how I was communicated with my mother, which I didn't like it. So I started being, more aware all my family issues. And because of that, I also saw, how my family is far away from what our creator wants for us, and where planet earth right now uh, is evolving and goes. So that's why this is like old bazaar, my mother and my brother, and why it happened, even because I was always the person initiator, and everywhere. And for example, when was about coming to my mother and my brother, I have two brothers from my mother's side. When come to Antalya, so I saw, when I was working at the airport, I saw the person, my mom, like she resembled my mother and my brother, and that's why I told them, just come and visit me. And they minds, they wanted, just they had a lot of issue, because when we are too much in mind, and a lot of family issue with struggles with money. So it was like, like lack of trust. But when we trust the person who is awakened, that everything would work out better, and it turned out that they were better financially than where I was. But when by the way complaining, and universal law, there is like, when you complain, you don't see what you have instead of being grateful. And I was this also person to give them this opportunity that they can stay with me in apartment, and we spent a beautiful 5 days together. And my company for who I work, it just was very generous, but allowed all of us, to have family members that we can invite and they spend time. So it is about being, to become rich, we need to be generous. And when we are rich, it is really to start to sharing with others. And because we become even richer, because our consciousness grows, and we know that whatever we are doing for next generations. We are doing for, for people who, young people who are coming behind us, so it is about everything what you are doing. It's not about this present moment, what is happening, but about next coming generation in your family. So because I was able to detach myself at the age of 51, I believe, yes, when I started working with Tinker first time with having destination, I was 51. Was on the I was doing what my soul wanted to do when I was 18, 19 years old. So working for travel. And also I was able to give my family who would not afford to pay for hotel, to go to the travel agency, or even travel by themselves and pay for accommodation, and for and see the this beautiful place. So this is like why I'm telling this. So whatever you are doing for yourself, when you are feeling that you know that there is something what is not right, just follow this feeling, and you will see who you become for, for your uh, family, who somehow, had belief system which doesn't work to anyone. And because of it, I was brave enough to be, restored my belief system about myself, about people, humanity, and I was recognizing myself, like how my soul is strong, and how my soul wants to be have this righteousness, but not righteousness from the mind, only from the soul, on the soul level. That's why I loved all the people who even hurt me. I loved their essence, their soul, because I know that soul is not what ego projects and does. So this is, we are still, in Kalichi again, and we are spending wonderful time in Antalya. We are seeing Bartosz is my brother, my mother and my brother. So we are, enjoying time together in Kalichi, but it was different avenues when I had with my colleague and her husband. So it depends, with what people you are, you experience Antalya differently. Like I had this opportunity to spend differently with different people and by myself, and I really enjoy that because we are aligned what with every person, and we had very tasty uh, uh, very tasty meal. Each of us had different meal, but we were enjoying the first days when we came. It was first day in Antalya, and I believe I gave them a huge gift, because if it wasn't for me, they couldn't really be and experience all. My mother, can you imagine? My mother, when she came, she was, playing an old person, because right now she's 74. So her body is 74. So she had this issue about, aging, because belief system is about a body that is aging. It's not true. Our body is only expression. Our soul expresses from a body, and doesn't matter how old are you, you can start anew. So my mother, she was complaining. My brother had the issue with her, and but he wanted, to listen to her. So he really give her, a lot of space for her way of being. I am not that this kind of person, because I right away I confront that, because if you don't know something, just wait, ask the question, instead of thinking that my mother has this issue that I believe all the mothers who are not awakened, and they are not follow their soul path, only what society believe, has that issue that their children don't know enough. So when her brother speaks something, so she believes, and then she learns through her family. But I needed to this chain, cut this chain, that I can have my own experience, know who I am, what my soul wants that experience, because I had this dream as 18, 19 years, 8 year old girl, about traveling to work. Not only, to be in the space and travel, but working for, for travel, like stewardess, so the airlines, or, right now I know what that stewardess. When I meet stewardesses on the plane, I love them, because they are so wise people, so wise person, that really I admire them. But also I know what, like, people have a lot of issues. Mostly those who have money, but and they start in traveling, so they are not so much appreciated, and there are a lot of issue. But the people who travel, who are, who respect themselves, and so also respect others. And I see, really, I so remember one stewardess. She was, I believe, she also resembled me, and we just, move our eye contact, and I really I appreciated her. And she works for Lufthansa Airlines, I believe so. But so my brother, he has a huge knowledge, but my mother didn't believe him, and he accept the way of this. So first day he wanted to, to invite her to the place, the local place, but my mother didn't agree. And what happened, it was like a circle again. And one day we all went there, and my mother was, oh, it was so delicious, it was so nice, and etc. She was, but she didn't listen to my brother at the first place. So this is like, we have this issue with our parents. And because I know that I am not going to put up with, with behavior of my family, like my mother or my even brother. So I will just, addressing, okay, you are speaking to me this way, so I know that your partner, because my brother has a long-term partner, you are the same to your partner. So I said, I really, I feel compassion for your partner when you speak to me this way, because I know that, that children brings, to the family issue. They are disconnected, that their mothers or fathers, they taught them the way, like they are treating, their partners right now. It's not, it's puzzle is solved. It's like how we treat our partners. We are disconnected with our souls, like fathers and mothers, instead of loving them the way they are, and also uh, do not allow, them to disrespect your journey, disrespect your knowledge. So when there is the communication, then that's when we communicate with heart, everything is like supposed to be. So I really enjoyed that they were with me, because it is like upper waterfall down then. And my mother, she looks, she's very, very photogenic. It's, I believe it is called in this English. And I was looking, even like you see also my image. I started looking, seeing beauty in my body, in my face, to because before, when I recorded about my toxic relationship, what I had with my ex-partner, I really hate my body. My energy, whatever was in my subconscious, in all my energy field, was really, I felt this, how is it called? Disguised myself. I didn't like myself. I didn't love myself. I didn't know that I have something to say. And after all this journey, it's been right now 16 years, and all the ups and downs, I see beauty in my body, because this is my given, God gave me this. So why I'm not going to appreciate and praise, not in the egoic way, but in the to take care, and like seeing myself as a God who incarnated with giving love and appreciation to one another on this planet Earth, and with who I become since I move, from uh, this toxic place where I was when I was in a relationship, and when I was learning in Los Angeles, and who I become coming back from Los Angeles, and again, trying to find myself in the new places. So this is like, acknowledgement and validation that you are worthy of valid just acknowledge yourself as the person who you are right now. So I wish you that also, whoever told you that you are some kind, like societal beliefs is about not bragging about yourself, I would encourage you to tell you how wonderful you are, how wise you are, how talents you have, because bragging is your soul is going to the next level, and you are not bragging to dismiss others, only to just showing your value what you have. And this is about that, because we have hard skills and soft skills, and these soft skills I was learning through many the transformational programs, and being in the Los Angeles, how it is important to have these soft skills, and people don't know that they are just learning hard skills, like being, going to the school. They lose a lot from themselves. They lose only to gain what they want, but they are not the person who really take cares about other human being. This because there is all the time about I, and this book, Life Speaks to You, is translate how life speaks to you, really. And this is my brother. So we were in this waterfall for a while. I he thanks me. He helped me. I started I started reconnecting with myself, because being in Antalya, at the beginning, when we are put in the new place, we want to really be a good colleague, a good friend, a good worker. But I started reconnecting with my values through my intuition and my book, because my book is the most important. So I started giving myself boldness, courage, and promoting my book, because I haven't done this before. That's why it was for my mind something scary, something even unworthy, even though I know that this book can save someone's life. So this is like when we hide ourselves, it's about, hiding this gem, what you have, this jewel, what you have inside of you, instead of showing who you are, what you know, that you can save or help other person. That's all the time I speak. Whatever you know, just share. Just give this information to that. Even be yourself, by being yourself, by being, knowing yourself, knowing what you went through. And no, I'm not speaking about negative situations, but about this goodness what you experience when you are, when you don't know why you speak this word, even it is not important for right now, but later when you see the person who was with you just got it that you are, a different person. You what is going on with in the environment that the people want to hide. So this is the most important. When we become transparent, when we become honest, and we allow our soul express, we are just we are the one who can uh, just trust ourselves, and that we are doing right thing. And here is the also the still waterfall Duncan, because there are two waterfalls, and one under one waterfall what you saw this photo shoot. So we were in the one waterfall in Antalya, and this is the upper one. They are the same names, but they are different locations, and both are beautiful and different experiences. And here is a huge elevator. This is Konyaaltı, like behind you see this sea. Those Konyaaltı we spent at the Konyaaltı Park beach, and the what this is the elevator that you can go to the top, and you don't have to go down like first time when I was on Konyaaltı beach. So I went down, it is walk about 15 minutes. And this is his Green Canyon. So it was excursion. I was able to take my mother and my brother. They saw these beautiful views. They experienced, uh, what they souls didn't dream about. Like they saw souls know, but their minds didn't dream about that they could have it in a different way than only take the money and pay, earn the money, pay to travel agency, and have it what you want for a few days. They had 5 days, everything all inclusive. So life works this way, where we are connected with our soul, when we are connected with our experiences, what we supposed to, what were dreams we had in the past, and we reconnect themselves. Even our minds doesn't know, but our soul, guide us to the experiences, because they belong to us. So we can also give to our family this kind of experience. And whatever you are right now, and you had the dreams in the past and you didn't acknowledge them, so start to doing them step by step, and you will see who you become after a while. And this is still, a lot of people, fun. I was taking images. There was music on the ship, and there was the place. When I was first time on Green Canyon, it was April, I believe. Water, it was 13 or 8, 13 degrees, and I was swimming, because there is at the end of our Green Canyon excursion, there is the platform, but the ship, just stop, and for 20-30 minutes, guests can swim in this lake. This is the 200 meters down, and it is this lake is made, it is not real. It's made by the how is it called, by the environment, by not by environment, by people who work there. They created this kind of lake, but also there is like for tourists, they can see the Green Canyon and also swim. Uh, I just, yes, this way. And this is Manavgat, and about the words. So, like I mentioned at the beginning, so my colleague, she taught me about the words. So Manavgat, it's about bunch with fruit. This is very like, and also what I love ice cream. So there were so also I wanted to learn, know, to remember the name of ice cream in Turkish. So manavgat is like the bunch or small grocery with the fruits. So she explained me. And on Manavgat, after Green Canyon, there was, the guest. We were invited to the place where there was We had lunch in the beautiful place, and man of God was for guests if they want to buy some spices, some gifts for themselves. And this is another journey, Faselis. This trip was even before my mother and my brother came. I go by myself, and we are old town, and the guide, he was explaining to the guests, about this history of this Faselis, but I was focused more on the swimming because we had the break to also to have time for ourselves. So I chose swimming because my body was so hungry of swimming. And that's why for me it was like, even I lost crystal there in this place. It was for me sign that probably I come back one day. It was opal, a pink opal, and it's for Libra. I am the sign of Libra. It's about love and balance. So I left there. And this is also, a facilities. I was the other tourist who I met, I just, they took image. I love to, to be with the space of people, and I love to when we just change energies, and and we just give love to ourselves, even for this gesture of teaching us something, about telling about us something, of to see something, am I right? Or just take a photo, and that we can all have memories. And the guests, the guide, what will turn out that this guide was from Bulgaria, but he used to live in Turkey, so he used English. He was Bulgarian guide, but he lived in Turkey, and he was guiding uh, guests from my company, and I was also able to participate in this group English group excursion. So this is like gift what we have. It doesn't matter how you experience. It doesn't have to be you pay. It's about generosity and appreciation that you can experience what you want, not the way like if society teaches you, only how life wants you to experience everything. And this is Olympus telepheric, because from Fesilis we went to mountain called Tachtali, Tag, yeah, oh, in Polish, Tachtali, and Tachtali is about, it is, they called Zeus mountain, and what the guide spoke, it was about, they were about, they have three mountains that they call, three or four they call the same, that is like Zeus mountain, and he spoke about legend, about fire, and the fire really is about being as powerful and courageous, what we would like to for ourselves, and be bold, be different than other people. And this is the most important, my message, that your soul has an imprint in this lifetime, and you came here to be different, not the same what society teaches. And the most important, once I took the I was reading a lot of books which were I was developed because of them, but also I said I wanted to close the old, so I got the book from my hairdresser salon about, I borrowed, it was about title Haunted, and it was the romance, and I saw how romance it was in the, like the action was in the 17th, 18th century, but our upbringing, like I was, I was born in 20th century, so our upbringing was exactly what I saw. I saw all the experiences what I had at my childhood. They were they were there in this book, And what was the most important, that in romance books put you what we experience is like a relationship, like a marriage. There is narcissistic persona and empath persona. And as in romances, like in the Harlequin books and other books, that what I noticed when I was reading this romance from different consciousness, so I saw that is a lot of about intuition. It's a lot about observing, a lot of psychology, uh, but when you are in the lower state of awareness, you are looking, for some saver, Prince Charming, and you find this Prince Charming, but he's narcissist. Like when you empath, so you find the narcissist in that book, romance. This romance, what I experienced, yes. So it was, they were happy and happy, and this Prince Charming became, more authentic and in their hearts. But in our lives, we become mothers for our children, mothers for our spouses, and the most important also, we are attached to their behaviors and allow to run their unhealed childhood, and brings a lot of chaos to our lives. So we are in 21st century. Technology is on the higher than in 20th century. Also, our awareness is higher, our consciousness, we are going to self-realized. So as a soul, this is called, the being guided through your essence by God in you. And what I experienced, only being for over 5 years in Los Angeles, because I was in the right place. And tactile, like you see, is 23, 65, 200, 2,365 meters high. And I admired, there was a girl, I believe it was about 12 years old. And like you see behind me, there is the place to jump, like, like you are seated, and there were a lot of clouds. When we got, there were beautiful weather, but between this weather there were also a lot of clouds. And that girl, she just, when you are jumping on this device, she didn't know where she was. And I really admire it, because she was in really in at the air, and there was only clouds, it was gray, and she did it. So I really like this courageous soul, admired. I was not there. And you see, like, other people also. So when you are in the air and you don't see any tip, any summit, because there are only clouds, gray. So it is like you have this experience, like you are in the air and you fly. I believe so. It was the experience they wanted to have. And this is now there's another trip where I had to Pamukkale, and we stopped in Salda, a beautiful lake. It is a very known lake for tourists. Uh, this lake is in Burdur. It's about, I believe, about 150 kilometers from Antalya, and it's known because there are beautiful beaches. Like, you are not going to to swim, but some people swam. It is restricted. When we got to this area, so there are a lot of minerals in this water. So that's why I believe tourists are taken. But also, we had only I don't know, 2 meters from the edge of this of bank, that we can walk in. And minerals, you see this mineral, I was the water was very, um, water was very beautiful and clean, and this lake was created by movement, of tectonic movement of Mother Earth, and like I said, that was restriction to swim because water is very majestic for me. It was very nice to touch that, but the sound, you see this gray sand, I call this sand. So it was, you don't know how long it is, but like for example, when you go to have mud, and this, because this lake has many, layers, so suddenly, from the water to your calves, you suddenly can, go deep, and that, for the safety, it was forbidden to there was the rope which allows us to walk and no further. But as I said, some people they swim, and some them just didn't come back to their homes because of that. And Hierapolis and Pamukkale. Hierapolis, it was the old town. There are terms, also there were terms, and Pamukkale there are terraces. Here is Hierapolis Museum, and they are beautiful. Here I invite you to Pamukkale, Pamu, to jest, it is it's cotton. Kale, it is a castle in Turkish. So when you get there, so you can see, like from from afar, you can see like white castle, and this is terrace of Pamukkale, which is created from from water. Water, there is waterfall of water, and when water just go through all this layers, they leave uh, white calcium and other minerals, on in these terraces, and people come, and there are many, it's called pools, like the pools, but none of them were swimming, only we just walking there. A lot of tourists there. And my book, I took, image. I would like to just have this experience that my book can experience also this place. It's like my small baby, which has a huge knowledge. Like all of the children who are small, they have this truth in themselves. And until later we starting going to school, we starting listening to others, we are, we heard, and we were programmed, and we become more mental than feeling beings, and we more perform instead of being authentic because of that. And after Pumakale, I was considered wise. I was uh, between other trips, because when I work, had only one day off, so it was not so much time. But later, before I finished my work, I had 10 days off before I leave the destination, so I could, experience more. And I was very appreciative for what life gave me, because I explored a lot of wonderful uh, places, a lot of new people I met, and also I was learning how can I expose my book, and I was also like guided by intuition what to do next, and that's why Side is there is the ocean city, and this Tara, this train. It is, I believe, 20 Turkish lira cost. When you want to get to the city, to this ancient city, not walking, because there are cars, but there are more people who are working there. I believe there are tourists are not coming by cars, but there is no space enough. So this train or by food from your hotel. And this is antique seed. Yes, so this is the harbor. And when we are appreciative, because of what I reconnect with myself about appreciation, about gratitude, about being, in the space also of discernment, what I was doing when I was communicated with my spirits, just like, when the place where I lived, it was a little far away from center. So I said, okay, God, now what I will have experienced, how you give me, uh, surprise, how I can get where I want to get. And many times, people stopped for me, like and I had a free lift and I spoke with these people, I talked with these people, I also sent Reiki to some of them to when they had some anxiety issue or had, health issues, so that this it could be, solved. So it was like, reciprocal receiving, like from above, that I received, for example, I met on the bus stop in Antalya the girl who helped me with, how to maneuver in Istanbul. So we don't know how we are connected if we are connected with if we know that we are connected with everyone. So, and also whatever we experience, we need to thank to those who we experience, because it wasn't for some people, we even having, I don't know, chunk of money or chunk of ideas, but if we don't know uh, a lot of stuff, and people help us to get where we're supposed to be, it's the most important to be humble and be thankful, because this is the ignorance. When I heard from one person who was really receiving, she told me about everything that she was doing by herself, but people really don't understand what she's doing by herself or themselves. By themselves is like when God, your essence, takes you to another country, you don't know anything, and guides you only step by step through intuition. You release, everything what you had in Poland, and you are starting anew. And it was my journey in United States. It was really, I was doing by myself. But like the girl speaks, but for example, she was in this place or that place by herself in the foreign country, but it turned out that she was asking, the other person who was a Turkish nationality, so she didn't do it by herself. That person allows her, but she had safe experience in Istanbul, other places. But where and just we need to look, when we are with someone, to appreciate for what that person did is, because for us, because it is like being ignorant. Really, this is like they call in the churches about sins. Ignorance is lack of appreciation and gratitude to our lives and to people who life give us, to that we can have a good experiences. Even this boy, he gave me, took me the image, took me a picture. Just he offered me. It was very gracious of him. And here are a lot of boutiques in Sidev, the hotels also. It was close to harbor, and there's a Carpe Diem. There's a restaurant who I met a colleague, one colleague, she took me there, and I have in myself. I said that I am honest with myself. I am authentic, and because of that, I was with a space for people who also have the knowledge what I have, but they are afraid to speak the truth because whatever they had issue, some fear, and because of that, I was the space that, for example, this colleague, she invited me to this Carpe Diem because she had a very spiritual experience, and she didn't, she knew that I would understand her because I know what I experienced, and also I just um, I appreciated but also respected her journey. And this is also important that we all have a spiritual awakenings, all of us, and each journey is different, and we need to respect that because when our ego is very attached to opinions and who is right, who is wrong. No, in spirituality, there is not right or wrong, it's only love, unconditional love, and there's many layers of spirituality, there's many layers of paths, and also many layers of healers, different kind of healing, because God is limitless and give us everything, what we need at in the moment and awareness what we have. See there. So this is my book. Also, I was in different place where when I was second time, I haven't see this place. So I was discovering by myself. I uh, I was working, for a company, having day off. So it was arranged for me that I could get to see there with the bus, with company, with the guests, and that's why I was able to get there with ease, straight, appreciative, and having more time, to spend and see there and see that space only by myself, because I love to spend, by myself, to feel, to know, to learn. And there was, like you see, there was the floor. It was glass. Under that there were some antique also stones. So Side is placed very beautiful in this antique city, and it was very well manufactured. Let's go like that. That is that a lot of people I when I was working at the airport, they love to go to see there and stay there at the hotels. We are still seated. This is from harbor, and on the other side there are hotels, tourist area. This is my book, yes, because I was learning. I wanted to explore how can my book be exposed to more audience, because this book has a huge knowledge and content that I believe each of us can. I'm reading all the time to remember who I am and what experiences I had, that whatever life throws at me, I always come back to my heart. I always come back to my experiences. That I always come back to my learning what I experienced, but be integral with myself, my soul, and without hurting anyone. And here it was. Now it here also. In Antalya, I was learning also about technology, because for me technology is a big issue. Even I'm getting very fast. My mind is learn very fast, but I don't like technology, and because I was working, I needed to work with technology, so it was a lot of learning process, and I appreciate myself giving myself time, because like we know, when we are working with people, colleagues who are like at the age of 20 something, they were born with technology, and my body is at the age of 52, so I need more time, and not everyone is fond of being with technology, and I needed to recreate my mind, but technology is not something bad or something what negative. Only when we have discernment, we can use it, we can share, and also use technology to our learning, not to without feeding our subconscious mind with unnecessary information which doesn't help us. I would encourage to use technology this way. And also have some fasting from technology. So a bus station in Antalya. So I was preparing that day. It was my It was October 7th. So it was my day before my birthday. My birthday was on October 8th. So I gave myself a gift going to Cappadocia. And what is the most important with this when you have birthday, every year we we our consciousness grows in one topic, and each of us has these four themes of for our lives. To all the time, every 4 year, we just come back and we are more evolved with energies what we came. And for example, when I was and when you have this, so Mayan calendar has 13 months. Each of them is 28 days, like period, and 9 months, like for example, like this cycle of the whole Tzolk'in is 9 months. For example, women have has women have there's pregnancy at 9 month. So Mayan calendar is galactic Mayan cosmic calendar, which brings energies, no mental knowing, only energies with what we came and what consciousness we are wanted uh, to evolve as a soul, uh, expressing through our holon. Our body as a holon has energy. My energy is bringing truth to the life, to the world. So, and also learning from through mirrors. And this year is about mirroring. I am mirror for someone and someone is mirror for me, and also coming back to heart, not ego wanting, not ego, this harmonious, only coming to the center. And whatever day you were born, day before your birthday, there is cosmos, universe, just gives you the rest, because there is the transmutation of energies from your past year to the coming year, which starts with a new birthday day, like the new day of your birthday. So it would be like your new year. So every year you are new. So you are not older, only your soul is wiser and gives more to the collective awareness, what is needed for the collective evolution right now for our Mother Earth. So this is but age doesn't have it's only mental thinking about age. You are every year you are 1 year old every year. And where this Mayan calendar has 13 years, for example, cycles. When I started in 2010 and finished in the year 2023, when my book was published. So I was so much connected to my intuition because I was evolving in this topic. Right now I am evolving in creating balance, harmony, beauty. So it will be for 13 years. And in this cycle, but this cycle 13 years also has, I am right now on the third year of this cycle, so I am in the action. That's why I am right now and speaking about my experiences, speaking about the beauty and how we're supposed to treat one another and who we really are. So day before your birthday, never signed any contracts, never make any decisions. It's called Green Day. This green day is for you. Whatever is happening behind your scenes in the spiritual world, it's just giving you now to taking out because 13 month also is taking out everything what ego is attached. So this green day is the last the day after 13 months of your birthday a year, and when you give yourself grace and rest, and you can start anew in your birthday day and celebrate first your birthday day. So on October 7th, one day before my birthday, I took excursion on the bus to Cappadocia, Goreme, and I was on the bus 11 hours, and because of that I was so excited and happy. And this is a huge, very huge bus station in Antalya. Even though I thought that I knew that I was not be late, but I am happy that I even got to this bus station before I supposed to get to the bus and go to Cappadocia, because when it was dark, even I had some issue uh, to uh, time. I knew where to go. So sometimes it is good to just be prepared, and it was a good idea. So I am on the bus. Yes, after 9 p.m. I got on the bus, and we were on the way to Cappadocia. I was blessed with two seats because of that I could rest. I was sleeping all this time, and the steward, because also on this bus we had steward. They help us if, for example, we needed to go to toilet, so they help us because there are many bus stations, on the way. And he woke me up at, I believe it was 6:45 in Goreme. I love Goreme. It was sunrise that time. And I got to Coffee Hector to change because I was, as you see, I was in the blouse and my trackers, but I knew that in Cappadocia would be hot. So in this Coffee Hector, I changed my clothes and also took the tourists from Australia who were for 3 days in Goreme. They spent time in Cappadocia. They took me the picture. World of Tomorrow travel agency. So I went there for only 40 days. I 40 euros. I paid very wonderful excursion, like full, like we started at 9 a.m. and finished at 6 p.m. with lunch also. We were in many places, and what was about 40, because I was astounded. Everything what is written in my book in Cappadocia, it was like combined, like there is in Turkey there is very important 40, like even Jesus, he was on the desert 40 days, and Cappadocia is a beginning of Christianity. And there, like you see, there are homes from lava, because there was a volcano and lava. There are homes. Even in 70 years of 20th century, people lived in that kind of houses. Later you will see. And on the top there were rooms that call for the monks who meditated. They were connected, and the guide told me, like, the tour guide, he told me about 40. 40 is important. Also 14, like 14, and I find out this about that in the when we were to see uh, this experience, some gifts, 14 Martes, and also she mentioned about 13 and 20 and 13, that we have 13 joints in our body, and 20 is like a God's number. It's like we have 20, like the 10 fingers and 10 toes, excuse me, there are 20. So in Mayan calendar speaks about, this 13 and 20 as our holon, our body, as a, so it was like for me only, uh, I felt free there. I felt free, I felt like I was in different place. Like Cappadocia is completely different from Antalya, from Istanbul. It is uh, the the home, I believe, more spirituality than the than regular living what we have in our main lives. So there is the Goreme Air Museum. It was, this excursion, like I said, 40 euros. So because I was everything what I was experiencing, I was looking for science. So it was like for me only confirmation for my mind, because my soul knew, but my mind needed to confirmation that I am in the right place in the right time, and I'm doing what is right. So this is also mantra, which is now, even I'm speaking to you, I'm recollecting myself with my knowledge and wisdom and memory because of that. Because when we are with environment that people are still sleeping, we want to become like them, because this knowledge, this wisdom is sacred, but also is a burden for us. And being with people who are still, in the very low vibration, and they are want to get something from life instead, give something to one another, it's very difficult to cope with. This was church on the left side. Here's also this. We were in two museums in Goreme, and the first slide was in this. You saw Lam Church, and here is on the other air museum in Goreme. It was also on the right, there is the church. There are, Cappadocian. They lived there and they prayed, they meditate, and they had also baptized, themselves. In this church was about, there were places. Even one of I I get got into the church, and there were other tourists, and they had different guide who also explained them a lot, and so I also was able to not memorize, but have this knowledge about baptizing. There was this special place, how it was. So it was good to be flexible. And so Nevşehir, so Goreme and Nevşehir, there are two places in Cappadocia. So Nevşehir also there is airport, so people come, by air. But Goreme, for example, I got, in Goreme by bus. And there is this Chistar Castle. You see even the spot, there is some kind of gift, and there was a photographer. And for me, what was, I saw that I was in my soul path. So I took the image, and he took money from everyone, more than from me. And he didn't know me, he didn't know the guide, he didn't know that I was from the, travel agency. He didn't do anything. It was like consciousness, like soul to soul speaks. This is who we are heading right now. But there's like about our communion, soul to soul, not human to be human through head. And behind here, like on the right, like in the middle, there is this Ushtar castle. So it is called this way, but people like the guide, what we had, he told us, tour guide, that people even lived in this kind of houses in 20th century to 60s, 70s years of 20th century. And like receive a lot of dream spelling, dream catchers, excuse me, dream catchers. I had the image with, evil eye, like the tree full of evil eye. So like, there is the message that in the spiritual world you are protected. That's why it is important that we are protected. We have guides, we have guardian angels. They are focused on us, on our journey, and they are not allowed to others to hurt us. Sometimes they are disconnect from people only, but we can be safe and we allow our soul to expand. And this is the Pigeon Valley. This is the castle, and there are many layers. I believe there are 7 layers of that people live. There were spaces for horses inside because this volcanic eruption helped, people to build in the rock. They didn't evolve in steel or other there's industry on the west. There is steel, but there is a lot of other way of building houses brick by brick. They use what their nature gave them. So that's why also like when we are using what life gave us right now, it's about it is moving us to the next level, and we don't have to have so much money to move forward with what is important, that soul move to the next level. And this is like Kaymakli underground city, and there are 2 underground cities. The other one is in a different place. We were in Kaymakli, and after that, so when the Cappadocian in the past, when they try to, to save themselves from the attack outside, they left, this holes in the door, like this wheel was as a door, and then there was pigs